I I don't know if I should start. So today I am going to talk. First, I talk about attachment and avoidance. Then I do a little self-inquiry. This time I try to keep it short, around maybe 20 minutes. First, I talk about the ways, spiritual methods, approach. So, I discuss attachment and fear, no avoidance with respect to a spiritual approach. As you know, there are many spiritual approach over there. Meditation, maybe the most famous practice. Self-inquiry, working on your chakras. Ashiana Dean has books and advanced ascension mechanisms are explained in her books. So, if we rely on an approach every time to bring clarity, to vibrate at a higher level of consciousness, then if it works for us, it's okay. But most of time, two things happen. For instance, say I meditate. Whenever I feel bad, then I immediately go to my room, lock the room, and sit. Maybe somewhere I sit in kitchen and start meditating. Yeah. Then what is wrong with this? You know, in actually now I am avoiding that pain, that suffering, and I rely on meditation. I rely on meditation to feel good. So as you see, an avoidance happen here. There is no difference between this approach and just drinking some wine or whatever in order to numb yourself. However, it does not mean that the meditation does not have its place. But because that's the mind, the mind just cling to things, and it takes time for us to develop the awareness to know that even the very way can block you, the way can become your prison. What once gave you freedom could become your prison, your cage. So as you see, now we avoid, but in order to dissolve the situation, we need to feel the feelings. We need to allow whatever show up to show up. and sit with them, sit with that discomfort. But this doesn't mean you should make yourself discomfortable, you know, intentionally, maybe curse yourself, then you say I should sit. No, because we see, I don't know if you have seen Code Da Vinci. It is a movie. The guy, it was a religious guy over there, he was torturing himself because he supposed this is the way to get closer to the God or whatever. So these things, this approach can become a block easily if we are not aware of them. As you see, if I use the meditation to avoid the problem, to not face my feelings, feelings are sometimes intense. They are like hell, hellish feelings. You cannot even walk or talk, so you just want a way to do something. Maybe you rely on eating, talking, calling your friends, having coffee, whatever. Then you can the same way rely on your spirituality, a spiritual approach in order to avoid the feelings. And if we avoid the feeling, there is no expansion. However, all that you need is to sit in silence, all alone, not get lost between friends and family, all alone, sit in silence. I know this is painful, but this is the only way we can get rid of, not getting rid, I mean, we can dissolve that pain. And that pain, most of time, is a result of imposing ideas. We impose ideas on the world, impose belief on the world. Therefore, we feel intense feelings. What do I mean by imposing ideas? Say, I mean, for instance, say you are maybe at work, then maybe you do some mistake, and you suppose that you are not allowed to make that mistake, so therefore you blame yourself, so you are in pain. So you see, that is a result of imposing ideas on the world. Yeah, we project some beliefs, conditioning, all of us do that. That is why we all are kind of narcissists, because narcissism is about projecting ideas, imposing belief, not understanding. So this is a result of I, the ego. We all have that ego, and it is so natural. We are not going to put our finger at this guy and that guy say you are egoic. I am not egoic. I am good. You are, but no, this won't help us. So this is the first problem, avoidance with approach. Of course, you can meditate, but you can be aware of all feelings. Therefore, the meditation can dissolve the feelings. What is meditation? Meditation is yeah, to be present, to be. And when feelings come up, they show up in that presence, in that awareness, and that is the meditation. So we cannot let the meditation be controlled by thoughts. And even this statement, I said this is not true, because if we rely on that statement, again the same story happen. Oh, I should not. No, there is no rule over there, no rule. Whatever rule we make, it blocks us finally. But you can just do it without thinking. When thinking comes in action, then Of course, there is a good and bad produced automatically. So this is about avoidance and the approach. Self inquiry is beautiful because it makes you ask question, impose, not impose, pose question on every situation. Pose question, what do I feel? Therefore, when you block yourself, you unblock yourself. This is the question. It brings awareness to that place that you are um, blocking, blocking yourself. So that's self-inquiry. But I don't mean meditation is not working. If you prefer a method, it doesn't mean the other methods are bad. No, maybe some guys, it's practice. They are better at using them. But self-inquiry, you do not get attached to it. If you get attached, you not attached. You cannot avoid the feelings and also attachment because you pose question. No, I talked about attachment. That was about avoidance, yeah? Avoidance is a common problem associated with method. The other problem, I don't mean it is necessarily a problem. It can. There is a potential for it. Yeah. Then, and that is why you see Krishnamurti say truth is a pathless land because it doesn't want to rely on a way. He knows the way can block you. You avoid the pain. Then attachment. You know what is attachment? No, let's just I inquired into it in last night, but I forgot. I forgot the result. So, what was attachment about? Yeah, for instance, when I do the self inquiry, again and again, it is, let's go by a obvious example. Say I have coffee every day, yeah? Coffee every day. Then to feel good, I have coffee to feel good. Yeah, to feel good, to feel normal, to be able to operate. So I get attached to it. What is that to get to be attached to coffee? You see, that is a label. That is a label. We are using the label to describe a situation. What is it to be attached to some coffee? Is it the same that we get attached to a girl, for instance? Then when you are attached, maybe I go by the second example, you are attached to a girl, then fears are byproducts of that attachment because you are afraid if you lose that girl. No, if you are attached to the coffee, is there any fear? You are afraid if you don't have your coffee, you cannot operate normally. So a problem is when we attach to the method. No, go to the spiritual method. Say I sit in silence every day, I do meditation every day, and I am attached to it. No, when fearful thoughts, for instance, show up, I need to go to do meditation. Even if there is no fearful thoughts, just I am okay, I need to go to do meditation because I think that meditation liberates me. Yeah, I'm attached to it. I have the fear if I do not do the meditation, then I have not done any spirituality. I cannot get liberated. So, as you see, the attachment is accompanied by fears. But let's continue. You see, so if I am attached to self inquiry, then what? Okay, let's be attached. Why do you do the self inquiry? Because you believe you can dissolve your conditioning this way. This is in my case. I believe self inquiry bring me clarity. If I inquire into the I, then then I see there is no I over there. It is, you feel liberated, expanded. Now you get attached to that inquiry. Every day you need to do it. Otherwise, you don't feel good. You feel something is wrong. So as you see, yeah, it expand you as the consciousness. It gives you a broader perception. But if you don't do it, then you think something is wrong, so it contacts you. When you get attached to it, yeah. But that's not all to it. What is attachment? I'm better with girls. If you get attached to the girl, then what happens? You want it. You want the girl to be with you. Therefore, even the attachment is kind of avoidance. Because when you are attached, you want that girl to be with you. You cannot be alone, you cannot be in presence, reside in easiness. You want something to entertain your mind, to feel good, supported maybe. But it doesn't mean it is bad to be in a relationship with a beautiful girl. No, it's good. I mean, these are the problems that can happen. Even when you are attached to a girl, there is, you know, then the love maybe disappear. You are not disappear, but there are layers of attachment, so you cannot be in a genuine connection. Anyway, so that attachment in a spirituality is the same thing. This is the mind, the same mechanism. Is it the same thing? Let's pose the question. Not so. Is attachment? Say I am attached, no, to meditation, to self-inquiry. Yeah, you think again, if for instance, if I am attached to that self-inquiry, I believe that I cannot be liberated without it. But you are just the presence, the consciousness. You don't need even self inquiry. So the self inquiry is just a tool. So when you are attached to it, you want some result out of it. It means you are projecting some ideas on what is, and you want next moment, if I call it next moment, to unfold according to your ideas. Phew. So you are far away from being, easiness. It's not about self inquiry at all. It's not about the method. You don't need any method. We use them, but we do not get attached because the method is not the aim, of course. What else about attachment? Attachment produce fears. You are in fear, you are in fear. Basically, avoidance. I mean, what was the first thing we were talking about? I said we have avoidance and attachment. That is two problems. When we rely on a method, we can avoid the problem and go to the method. Yeah, go to the method. On the other hand, so that is the avoidance. When we are attached, we are in fears because you are attached. You are afraid of losing something. Something doesn't happen. So, as you see, this avoidance and attachment, are they the same thing? I don't know, but it's okay, I think. So, if you want, we can inquire into it. Are they the same? But I just prefer how long I have been talking. Oh gosh, 23 minutes. So I just prefer to do a 5 minute, maybe 10 minutes of inquiry into easiness. Who am I? Who is talking? I. What is the I? Who is talking? I. What is the I? I is a belief, is the belief that I am the body. Is it that? Therefore, when you have that belief that you are the body, the other thoughts are built based on this belief. Am I the body? Who believes that I am the body? I. You see, there is nobody there to believe that you are the body or not. But a thought is coming. It is like computer, yeah? You just give it some program. Then the computer is running based on the program. Then who, if the computer asks itself, who have the belief in the codes in program, it can see nothing. If the computer is conscious, it just see the programs are coming. Then the computer believe I am this computer, this body. That is another program. That is the I program. I thought. Come on. I am. What is I? To whom the thoughts are coming? Who get lost in thoughts? I. Who am I? I am. What is the I am? Who knows the I am? No knowing. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello. Hello, everybody. She's going both direction. Yes, the girl. Hi. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I didn't notice your comments. Any comments, question, whatever? Love you all.